Well, good morning and Allahu Akbar, my beautiful friends all over the world. Those of you who are more interested to be curious than furious. It's always good to be curious. I was really enjoying my morning long obligatory prayer and noticing how in between sentences sometimes my mind wanders and yo-yos around, so I have to go get it and bring it back and focus on the passages. And in one of them, I was struck by how Allah talks about every creature, every living creature praises and worships its Lord, in the way it can. So I was thinking about my garden and the milkweed, and also the the monarch butterfly caterpillars that I found on the leaves of this milkweed plant and pot. And I thought I will share it with you because I did some research on it, and the suggestion is they will survive a lot better, more resilient, if they are put in a little aquarium-like place and filled with fresh milkweed leaves so they can grow. Just like when we were children in Iran, we all had in this time of the year, Rizwan, we all had a shoebox of silk worms, and we would feed it mulberry leaves, and it was such a conversation among all of us children, comparing the growth and being in awe and wonder of the discovery of how they are soft and how fast they grow, and they turn into a cocoon. And then that story of the cocoon and the old man that I never forget, and I always use that the little boy happens to walk by an old guy on the corner of the street somewhere in the east, and he's got a box full of cocoons, and he asks, "What are those?" And he says, "These are cocoons." And he said, "What is cocoon?" He says, "Well, there's life inside of this, and this worm inside wants to come out." And what happens after you come out? He says, well, it turns into a beautiful butterfly. And he says, "Oh, can I have one?" And he says, "Well, yes, but on the condition that when you take it home, you will not do anything to it. You do not help it. You just let it unfold by itself." And he says, "Okay." So he takes the cocoon home, and he waits and he waits. And his patience and God's patience are not the same. So finally, his lack of patience takes the better side of him, and he takes a little scissor and he opens up the little hole that the caterpillar wanted to come out and was struggling with it really hard, and he was just not wanting to bear that. Out of his kindness, he basically cuts a little bit bigger the hole, and all of a sudden this caterpillar flops out and falls right in the middle of the box. And after that, it was just no movement from this little moth who came out. The boy is very, very struck and saddened, and he takes the box and the caterpillar and now the cocoon actually to the old man, and he says, crying, and says, "Look what happened, look what happened." And he looks at him and says, "You helped it, didn't you? You helped it." And he says, "I couldn't bear it. It was trying so hard. It was struggling so much, and the struggle I could not bear." And the old man says, "But it is out of struggle that we develop our character, and we become what we are supposed to become. We fulfill our purpose." And yes, so this whole notion of hardship and difficulty in nature, in the science. Of course, we know that the caterpillar, when it's hatching, when it's coming out of the cocoon, the struggle basically helps it to send the blood to all the different limbs and veins of the wings of the caterpillar, and then as a result it can fly. So without that struggle, that pressure, that would be not possible to do. It's a wonderful thing to reflect for us when we face difficulties, challenges. Abdul Baha says, tests are stumbling blocks or stepping stones as we make them. And as you can see, my little monarch caterpillars are very healthy, and they like to be exposed to the sun, as we are also inclined to wake up. And as Baha'u'llah says in the beginning of the long obligatory prayer, look to the right and look to the left. And I asked some people, do you know why? Do you remember why he says look to the right and look to the left? And they cannot remember. But yeah, it says, so you can receive the mercy of God, the mercy of God. So that's what we are looking at, mercy of God, asking for it, asking for it. We look to the right, we look to the left. And I think these caterpillars constantly look to the right, look to the left, so they can see the mercy of God in having its good supply of the milkweed plant. As this is a milkweed plant, and these are the leaves, and I'm supposed to be feeding the caterpillars. So my dearest, I will keep you posted. And they drop their little poopies in the box, so I have to clean it, keep it clean. And it shouldn't be that long, a couple of weeks, and they will be giving us 4 beautiful monarch butterflies. Always reminds me of the Baha'is of Iran. I hope that they are able to open their wings and be able to come out and be able to shine their beauty and their light and fulfill their purpose of serving God and serving humanity without any hindrance. And here it is, saying goodbye to them. The caterpillars are saying hello and good morning to each other. And here I would like to say the same and goodbye. I'm gonna go and meet my wonderful students, teach them about life and themselves. Love you guys. Bye-bye. Manager John, I love you as always. I see you. I love you. You're always a point of light. Love you. Bye-bye.